God, they're everywhere. Make it stop. Yo, what's happening, my people? From now on, I'm going to use this tagline for my channel because it just fits. Welcome to the Repster, where entertainment and movies are our reputation. So, Night of the Creeps was released in 1986, was directed by Dred Dekker, and stars Jason Lively, Tom Atkins, and Jill Whitlow. And it's all about these alien brain parasites that turns people into zombies of sorts by entering their mouth. I don't know, not a very sexy way to look at the plot, but it is what it is. That's basically it. It's straightforward. That's all you get, pretty much. I mean, there's a story there and a subplot, which I really enjoyed. But that's basically what the whole movie is. And I had bought this movie about a week ago, and it took me this long to get the review out. I've been trying to get all these other reviews out, too. I'm building up pretty much a playlist on my laptop, trying to get ahead of myself of these reviews, so sorry if I got to this review a little late, but anyway, let's get into the positives of Night of the Creeps. The story, it was really good. I like the whole brain parasite thing, you know, where they just jump in your mouth. They're really slick. They're really fast on doing that, and then they just turn you into a zombie. George Romero and Ridley Scott or James Cameron, I feel like this could have been cooked up by them in a lab, and poof, they made like a creature feature / zombie baby. That's how I felt like this movie was. Yes, it is very tongue-in-cheek and probably something George Romero would never do, but still, it had the zombie element with all the makings of a creature feature. That's what I found interesting about it. When I first heard about this, I started watching clips on YouTube and the trailers for it, and I thought it looked pretty damn good, to be blunt. So yeah, these brain parasites just gets in you, and once that happens, hey, bye-bye. Because from that point on, you are controlled like a puppet. The parasites are the puppet master, and you're the puppet. That's basically it. The characters was pretty cool. One stood out. Tom Atkins plays Ray Cameron, the cop in this. He was pretty cool. I liked him. Ever since I saw him in the Halloween 3, though that wasn't my favorite out of the Halloween films, his acting was still pretty good in that. So when I found out he was in this, that even added my interest even more into wanting to checking this out. And I thought he did a really good job. He was cocky. He was a smart ass. He threw out these one-liners all the time that kind of made me laugh. And this is where kind of a little bit of the tongue-in-cheek portion of this film kind of came in play.
It's Miller time.
But I thought he was pretty cool. I like his acting. He's one of those veteran actors you don't really hear about, but he was really big in the horror community, or he still is. I think his movies has done pretty well.
I got good news and bad news, girls.
The good news is your dates are here.
What's the bad news?
They're dead.
Pretty soon I want to get The Fog if they ever have that available. I know Scream Factory's released that. But yeah, he would throw out these one-liners in this, like, thrill me. There's this one portion in this film where this movie was actually telling the audience that it knew what it was, a B-movie. And there's a line that Tom Atkins actually says that confirms that. And I thought that was pretty funny. Plus, he has an awesome backstory. You know, this guy has been through a lot. Several years has passed. There's an opening, which brings me to the side plot, or the subplot, or whatever you want to call it. The way this movie opens, where it takes place in 1959, and you hear about this psychotic loony bin that gets out of this Institute for Criminally Insane. So this couple is parked out in the fields, and then they witness something crash landing to Earth. And forgive me, this might be spoilers, but this only happens within like the first 15, 17 minutes of it. I won't ruin the rest of the movie, but they witness that thing crash land to Earth, and then they go investigate. Well, the girl stays in the car, and the guy goes and checks it out. Classic horror movie scenario, right? You can probably guess what happens next. Something really, really bad happens to both of them, but physically, the girl, there's a little bit of a connection there with this Tom Atkins character and her, which I will not spoil. But I just had to give out that opening scene to try to illustrate my point. Long story short, it was an interesting backstory, and it was something I kind of seen coming, but it still shocked me. It still surprised me. But it sets up the tone for this character really nice, really good, and you find out like his backstory on why his personality is the way it is. And I gotta get into direction. Dred Dekker, who directed this film, he did a pretty good job. I liked where he was going with this, especially with that side plot. It is a side plot, but like it was mostly about those brain parasites and controlling people, turning them into zombies. But I liked the whole side plot thing. It gave you more to think about when you were watching this film. And Dred Dekker, I think he did a really good job. I know some of his other work. The only other thing I remember him directing and starring in, because when you watch this, it says written for the screen and directed by. I think that means like he started it, maybe a cameo or something. But he did do a Tales from the Crypt episode, which I'm a huge fan of as well. I got all 7 seasons of those. But he was in Tales from the Crypt, and I know what episode it was, but I can't think what part he played in. But anyway, back to this movie. I'm sorry I got off topic. I just had to mention that. But he did a really good job on this film. And the other characters wasn't bad. You got Chris, played by Jason Lively, who is one of the main characters of this film. He's sort of the shy type. He notices this girl at the beginning, and he's one of those, what should I say to her? What should I do? Kind of reminds me a little bit of me, if I'm being honest. But he's also kind as well. He's somebody that I think you can befriend. And you got JC, played by Steve Marshall. He was pretty cool. He played his friend. He's kind of cocky. He was a little bit of a smartass as well. And he used crutches, which I can relate to because I do too. And you got the main love interest to Chris, Cynthia, played by Jill Whitlow. She was really beautiful. At first, I couldn't really get behind her character because she came off as one of those damsel in distress type females. But at the end, she actually showed her true colors. In her own sort of way, in her own little oddball way. It went like, as soon as she figured out what to do, she was like sprung on. But she was like one of those that still was kind of unsure of herself. But I thought that added an extra kick to this movie. And usually I don't really go for that, but she pulled it off pretty well. The slugs/zombie effects was done pretty well. The practical effects was amazing. It was wonderful prosthetics. The scenes where it would show the head splitting open when the slugs would come out and try to invade somebody else was priceless. It wasn't that strong with the gore, but I really don't think it really matters for this film. I think what really counted was the story and what it was trying to say. You had blood and gore here and every now and then. It wasn't too strong, but like I said, I don't really think that mattered. I think it was done tastefully. And let's slide into our negative. The very, very opening scene before the 1959 scenario side plot I just mentioned. This alien race was chasing after each other, and one of them was carrying this container. That whole thing is happening, and it gets away from them, and you never find out why. Why all that was happening. The whole alien scene at the beginning looked really cheesy. You could tell, like, there was suits with little people acting in them. I felt like that was kind of unnecessary. If the thing had just crash landed and it just skipped that whole alien scene, I would have been fine with. And the ending was kind of a bummer. Both director's cut and the theatrical cut. But I heard that they had so much problems on set. They couldn't figure out how it ended. Plus the way the powers that be, that was over the filmmakers at the time, didn't really know how to promote the film. It could have been so much better. According to director Dred Dekker and some of the other filmmakers that worked on this film, the powers that be did not really understand what they were promoting. And that just goes to show me that the powers that be doesn't always know what they're doing. They really did drop the ball. There's a picture that they decided to promote this film with that looked similar to that of House, another horror film that lasted for 2 movies. And I remember the director saying, well, we can't use this. I mean, there's another movie called House and it looks so much similar. People are going to think that, oh, I've seen this, it's House. But they didn't want to change it. I don't understand that. It's like the powers that be did not care at all. So, whatever, it is what it is. So if you want a creature feature mixed with a dash of zombie fun with an added mix of tongue-in-cheek moments, this sweet delight is for you. So, Night of the Creeps, what did you think of it? Did you find it entertaining? Did you like the added zombie/creature mix to it? Or did you find it too silly? Did you see better? Leave me your comment down below and give me your thoughts. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Like, subscribe, and comment if you hadn't already. Stay tuned for more reviews and videos coming soon. Peace, the Repons.